It's one of Ronald Reagan's most famous, just one of his best quotes ever.
The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help."
Which makes what New York City Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani said in his victory speech last night all the more terrifying for New Yorkers.
We will prove that there is no problem too large for government to solve and no concern too small for it to care about.
It's the exact, I'm libertarian, folks. I'm the exact opposite of that. He just said there's no problem government can't, if there are, they create more problems. They can't solve a damn thing. They can't spend their money better than you. They're awful. They're terrible. Get government out of our lives. New York, you guys are nuts. Free stuff means that much to you? You're going to lose your city, your state, maybe the country. Mamdani also felt the need to address the president directly in his speech last night. I think he'll find that to be a big mistake, sending him right to the find out portion of the proceedings in due time. But one of the things that propelled Mamdani was this false vision and hope that he could somehow stand up to President Trump. Oh, well, he jumped on that one again. Watch.
So, Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up. We will hold bad landlords to account because the Donald Trumps of our city have grown far too comfortable taking advantage of their tenants.
The Donald Trumps of your city are going to leave. Then you won't have anyone paying the tax bills for all the free crap you're going to give away to illegals and everyone else that wants to become a New Yorker now because don't have to work, just get free stuff. It doesn't work. I think we can all agree that the Democrat Party that once existed, the one that Republicans could work with at least some of the time, is now completely gone. Far left has taken over. It's a brutal truth even CNN had to deal with last night.
The story for tonight is actually that the Socialist Party is taking over the Democrat Party. And you know what? It was Andrew Cuomo. It was Kathy Hochul. It were the Democrats that were so afraid of their shadow, so afraid of the radical left. People like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez kept moving to satisfy them. And now they've been eaten alive. So this is a lesson for the Democrat Party. They should have fought for their party. They never fought for their party. They catered to the radical left. So if you think you're going to get a free ride with Mamdani, you're going to learn the hard way.
That's why the answer to
someone smacked Ed de Blasio right in the kisser. AOC was really on her communist element last night. Wasn't she smiling, reveling in yet another win on her Marxist little belt? But when she was asked about how the president will respond to Mamdani's win, some of that crazy came right out.
Are you at all afraid of what that fight is going to look like in the coming weeks? Do you think Mamdani is ready to take on President Trump?
Well, you know, it doesn't surprise me. President Trump is a 34-time convicted felon. The Supreme Court has given him a blank check to continue to commit crimes while in office. So we cannot underestimate the threat and the danger of this moment, but we cannot respond to that threat with cowardice.
She's right. We cannot underestimate the threat and the danger of that moment, the moment being the socialist and Marxist elected mayor of New York City, the financial capital of the world. Hakeem Jeffries was put in his place last night on CNN by Dana Bash, shockingly, when Hakeem tried yet again to blame the Democrats' own shutdown on Republicans.
Well, Donald Trump and Republicans shut the government down and refused to reopen it. Donald Trump has spent the last 35 days more time on the golf course, more time talking to Hamas, and more time talking to the Chinese Communist Party than to Democrats on Capitol Hill who represent half the country.
Mr. Leader, you guys are voting no on opening the government, not Republicans. I know you're asking for specific things, and it's much more complicated than that. We'll get to that in 1 second.
Hold on a second, Dana, because let's just be clear about that. Okay. American people clearly understand who's responsible for shutting down the government.
Yeah, but you said they shut down the government.
They did shut down the government. They have the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and Donald Trump has spent the last few days saying to Republicans in the Senate, you have the power to reopen the government. They refuse to do it.
Except we showed you a bunch of times when Hakeem Jeffries and others said, well, let's keep it shut down. This is how we get leverage over Trump. They can't have it both ways, but politicians lie through their teeth. If their mouths are moving, they're lying. We all know that. So you know what? They're going to say that. Looks like the old proverbial apple doesn't fall far from the lying husband politician tree. The First Lady of the state of California has clearly been enlisted to tell lies about the president because her worse half needs a little break from doing it.
There is too much at stake. We refuse to raise our children to kowtow to a man who preys on fear. who terrorizes women, children, the LGBTQ community, and immigrants, who threatens and robs us of our hard-earned freedoms, a man who disrespects our veterans and mocks our disabled, who strips health care and SNAP benefits from families who need them most.
See Swalwell in the back. Like, he's like, how can I make a meme? How can I do an Instagram video on this? Morons, all of them losers. Maybe it's time to change Whoopi Goldberg's name to Whoopsie Goldberg. Whoopi and her clueless friends at The View have had to issue a lot of corrections lately, and Whoopi's really liking lately having to issue one of her latest. Watch this reaction.
He said that Joe Biden didn't know who he was pardoning using an auto pen. How come he don't know who this guy is?
Because he used an auto pen. Meetings with the judge, the meetings that they're supposed to go to when they're listening to what the hell, what?
I love when Sonny passes notes.
We don't know if Trump used an auto pen to part. It was a joke.
Yeah. We don't know if Trump used an auto pen to pardon.
Come on. No,
but we do know that he didn't know who that crypto guy was.
Well, I'm sorry. You know, the hardest thing about this job now is no one understands nuance. You know when you hear a joke, when somebody's fooling around, when they're not saying something specific, especially on this show. I'm very specific when I'm pointing stuff out. When I'm making jokes, you know when I'm making jokes.
Okay. You live by the sword, die by the sword, Whoopi. There are a lot of people who've made jokes and you've called them bigoted, racist, and whatnot for being funny, for being joking. So either you want to have it all, every single word out of your mouth is held to account. Fine, that's fine. You do it to us, we're going to do it back to you. Finally, ABC producers are like, all right, enough, Whoopi. You got to at least be honest and truthful. Let us know when it's a joke, because you didn't sound like you were joking every minute you're trashing Trump with your Trump derangement syndrome, all 5 of you ladies, or 4 or 5, whatever it may be. Alrighty, folks, I want to thank you for something very important. Tomorrow, we're going to drop the 8th episode of The Edge. We have Bo Needle. He was a New York City detective for 100 years. 1,500 busts. He got mugged 500 times on purpose. He was bait. They would literally put him in the New York City subway, unsuspecting. He put him in a suit with an expensive watch. He would get mugged. Perps would get busted. He was that guy. Then he became somehow friendly with the mob. Then he started busting the mob, and that right there. Then he was in Wolf of Wall Street. He was in Goodfellas. He became a star actor. He's got the stories you will not believe. I just want you to check it out. Hit that QR code, full screen of that QR code. Subscribe. Will you use your phone? You can use your camera. Hit that little QR there. It'll subscribe. Hit the yellow button. Or you can go to YouTube anytime. Go to YouTube right now if you don't mind. Just go to check it out. At Eric Bolling the Edge. At Eric Bolling the Edge. Subscribing helps us. Never get charged a penny. Whatever. Just keeps us at the top of your YouTube list when you go to YouTube. I appreciate you. You've been amazing. You've helped us grow top 1/10 of 1% of all YouTube shows. Are you kidding me? In 45 days. We're doing things that other shows can't do in 4 or 5 years. 45 days because of you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your viewership. And thank you for subscribing. YouTube.com/@EricBollingTheEdge. We'll be back 2.5 minutes.